The Angry Marks Podcast Network is brought to you by WrestleWork, a social network to connect, create, and share everything about pro wrestling. Check it out today at WrestleWork.com. You're listening to Emerson Whitner's NXT Report on the Angry Marks Podcast Network.
Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, good day, hello, and welcome to your NXT audio report for Wednesday, April 22nd, 2015. My name is Emerson Whitner. Thank you for listening. And, if you enjoy what you listen to, you can listen to me some more with my Wrestling Outsiders podcast, which you can hear on blogtalkradio.com/wrestlingoutsiders. We do it every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Time for about 60 to 90 minutes. This week, we reviewed the infamously bad Road Wild 1998 show, complete with Jay Leno in the ring, in the main event, all that, and so much more. In addition, you can listen to our past 56 episodes anytime on demand, which includes pay-per-view recaps, it includes interviews, it includes just some wacky fun, so go out there and listen to it now. So on to NXT from Full Sail University. Fun show, nothing really to write home about, but, it was a decent little show this week, starting off with Finn Balor defeating Ty Dillinger. Finn, the former number one contender, Ty Dillinger, the former teammate of Jason Jordan. Dillinger and Jordan broke up as a team about 4 or 5 times. This one seems to be sticking, though. Balor won a quick one with the diving double foot stomp. Ty got a little bit of offense, but nothing really that you need to go out of your way to look at. Nothing wrong with the match, but nothing to write home about. After the match, Tyler Breeze cut a selfie promo using the WWE thousands of dollars HD cameras versus his crappy cell phone camera, saying he doesn't like Finn Balor, calling him the flavor of the month, ultimately challenging him to a match. So we'll see where that goes. Might be leading on its way to the next NXT TakeOver show, which I think is in 3 or 4 weeks. Devin Taylor interviewed Dana Brooke, who, if you didn't watch last week, she is the worst woman wrestler in the history of NXT, not named Eva Marie. That would be the worst team of all time. Dana Brooke and Eva Marie, oh boy. Anyway, Dana Brooke said this is the rebirth of the women's division. I only hope to God that it's not, and she's kept away from the ring for a very long time. And she said that playtime is over. After a quick commercial break, Devin then interviewed Kevin Owens. Owens said that he did give Alex Riley credit for the good fight he put up a few weeks ago, but promised that tonight will be exactly the same, and that after tonight, Riley needs to go back to commentary. I don't know about that. Maybe Riley shouldn't still be in the ring, but don't send him back to commentary. Then we had a 3-way number one contenders match where Becky Lynch surprisingly won, defeating Charlotte and Bayley in the triple threat. This was a really fun little match. At one point, Charlotte did her figure 4 head scissors and did a series of front rolls, so Bayley, who was in the move, had to flip all the way over, which Charlotte hasn't done in a few months, so I forgot how impressive that looked. At one point, Becky was kicking at Bayley's thighs, but it looked like she was kicking at Bayley's butt, but Bayley sold it like she was kicking her knee. So these were quite the kicks she was throwing. Bayley and Becky reversed some roll-ups, which Becky turned into a wacky leg submission hold. Charlotte was able to hit natural selection, but Bayley broke it up. At another point, Charlotte pulled Becky off the ropes for a powerbomb, and while she was powerbombing Becky, Bayley came off the top with a European uppercut, which just looked phenomenal. The finish saw Charlotte do the figure 8, which is the figure 4, but when Charlotte bridges back on top of her head. And while she had her in the submission hold, Becky crawled over and covered Bayley and they counted the pin, and it was considered the win there. It was a creative finish. I do remember Ric Flair won the WWF title one time doing the same thing to Randy Savage, so with the figure four and Savage passing out. So shouldn't Charlotte also have gotten credit for the pinfall? I don't know. The C.J. Parker retirement tour continued as he lost to Hideo Itami. Since I don't read the spoilers, I still have no idea when his last match is actually going to be, just that, he doesn't work for the company anymore. Becky was backstage unlacing her boot. Oh, by the way, Hideo Itami's running kick may now be called the shotgun kick. That's what they were calling it during the match. So backstage again, Becky was unlacing her boot when Sasha walked up, and the two besties argued over who will win their match. Rhino pinned a local competitor who got no name. He got no offense, no name, and Rhino won with two moves, the belly-to-belly and the gore. Carmelo, this is quite the segment. Carmella's standing backstage on her phone, and Blake and Murphy walk up and start singing at her. So Enzo and Colin come walking up, so the champions retreated, and then we got Enzo, Colin, and Carmella all yelling all over each other about the jewelry that Blake and Murphy had given Carmella and that Carmella was now wearing. God. And honestly, I'm shocked I got that much out of it because they just were just yelling all over each other the entire segment. Finally, in the main event, NXT champion Kevin Owens went to 2-0 against Alex Riley. The last time these two sports entertained, Owens whooped Riley and won in about 5 minutes. This time, Riley got a slightly more offense and lasted slightly longer. Owens, at one point, rolled out of the ring and was just killing time outside the ring. Riley got tired of waiting, so he went running outside, but got quickly thrown onto the ramp, slamming the back of his head onto the ramp. Riley got a brief but explosive comeback, but Owens won with his corner senton and what was supposed to be the pop-up powerbomb, but looked more like the pop-up spine buster. After the match, Owens set Riley up to give him the powerbomb on the ring apron, like he gave to Sami Zayn and like he gave to Adrian Neville at one time to put him out of action. However, Sami Zayn returned and attacked Kevin Owens. The crowd went nuts as referees and wrestlers came running down to pull them apart. And do you remember one time in ECW, obviously many, many years ago, they had an angle at the Hammerstein Ballroom where just a whole bunch of guys were fighting outside the ring, and Kid Cash did his running flip dive over the top rope onto the giant pile? Well, that's what they did here. As a whole bunch of people were dragging Owens away, Zayn did a giant flip dive over onto the pile, taking out Owens, and Owens retreated to the back as the show ended. And that was it for the show. Owens retreated, so they're setting up another match with him and Zayn, obviously, so that'll probably take over at the next TakeOver show. They set up a bunch of new stuff, and at the same time, you're still wondering what else they're going to do, because we still have Hideo Itami, we still have more C.J. Parker. God knows when he's actually going to be done. But I guess we'll find out the answer to that and so much more next week. But until next week, thank you to everyone for listening, and take care.